Oh, we are now. Hello, everyone. We are live. And the day before Valentine's Day, we thought we would join you and chat a little bit about touch. And what's our question for today? Do you want to
How?
introduce us maybe? Maybe we should
Yes,
introduce ourselves. That would be
yes,
good.
yeah. This is like how to use touch so that you know whom to date.
Yes.
Wow. What do you mean, Katerina, by that?
Well, I will talk about what I mean. I just also want to introduce the two of you. So Camila and Beata, who are joining me here, they are like curious touch explorers from Poland, and I'm so happy to explore touch with them. And yeah, this particular topic, it's something actually that Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, inspired me to many years ago when I just started to explore the tools of consciousness. He was talking about how one would know who like to ask for a date or who to go for a date. And he said, well, what I do, he said, I watch how they hold their wine glass. You know, if they just grab it or if they like slowly touch, the stem of the wine glass, if they like, how do they actually lift the wine up? How do they touch the surface of the table? How are they actually with everything when you eat? Just as an example, I think we were sitting around a dinner table, and I've looked at that so much, like really looking at how, if really be aware of how people touch things and other people. Like, you can see if somebody goes up to somebody and like just lightly touches them, right? That's one clue. Do you like that? Like, do you get like drawn to that touch? Would you also like that? But also, when they go up there, are they aware if that person would like the touch? Like really observing how people are with their own way of touching things. If they even watch their hands, how they use their hands to interact with the world. That's like one first clue, like that part. And then also your own body, because your own body can give you so much clues when it comes to touch. Like, do you are you drawn to that person? Are you like longing for that person to put their hand on you? Do you like strategically put your hand close to that person so that person maybe would put their hand on top of your hand? Now you're like, you're allowing touch and your awareness of touch that can come without ever having experienced it with that person. You know, anyway, your body knows. Your body knows if you're drawn to it. Your body knows if that body is a body that actually seems to enjoy touch, that seems to enjoy bodies. So that's how I think that if we were willing to actually go beyond our cognitive list of, well, this person I'd like to date because he fulfills, or she, or they, whatever preference you have, right? They fulfill all these little things that I have on my list for what's a good date. But what if that's not at all what we go after? What if we really look at, okay, is this somebody I would like to touch me? Is this somebody I am drawn to touch? If you start going over to somebody and put your hand on them, that's a really good sign. If your like body's drawn to them and goes and sits really close to them, that's a good sign. That's somebody that you may want to try dating.
But
So
I
that,
thought,
yeah,
yeah,
go on.
I thought before this life, I thought that you will say that we have to go and touch everyone. But right now, when you ask show us what you are meaning about it, you know, I am
Yeah,
so curious to have a romance and date with everything.
yeah, yeah. And you can have it like it's so interesting because you're right. You could have a date with everything. You can see what else you are drawn to touch. What clothes would your body like to date? Like, what clothes are you drawn to in a store? We know that, like, there are certain clothes you kind of go close and you want to feel how the material feels like. Is it heavy? Is it light? Does it want to go on your body? I even watched this TV series a while ago. I think it was called The Night Manager or something. It's a beautiful TV series, and the the woman playing the main part, she wears this beautiful flowing clothes. Like they're just like, and they touch her body. Like they literally, they had a very good costume, designer who managed for this very tall and slim woman to wear these flowing clothes that kind of like came around her as a touch. And I really went, oh, my body really would like those clothes. I even went to look what designer I was. I went to see if I could buy those kind of clothes because my body was, yes, I want to go on a date with those clothes. I want to date those clothes. So that's brilliant. And what if we have that all the time? And so as soon as we leave this thing where we decided who is the right date for us and start using other clues of awareness, where touch is one of them, right? Yeah. You have a whole different sense of who would work for you, who would be fun for you to date.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing what you just said about having a date with with clothes, having a date with dress, having a date with my lipstick, having a date with, I don't know, my table, and having a date with my computer. Mm-hmm. This is amazing because this is completely different approach to the things, but also how they will also react, and because everything has awareness. So if the things have awareness and we are approaching them with so much attention and like, would you like to have a date with me today? Instead of, okay, I'm opening my computer and I'm working today and I'm clicking. It's like, hey, let's have a date today.
And you can even
completely different approach. That's amazing.
Well, and you can even use touch in those instances, because if you are really present with yourself and your body and all of that, what happens is if you go up to your computer and you're like, hey, computer, are we going to have a date today? When you sit down, if it's like time for a date, your hands will like come on your computer and it will be ease and you will be flowing. If it's not really the time to date, it won't really happen. Like your fingers won't be drawn to the computer. There's so much of that awareness that really comes with how your body interacts with the world, which is what you're getting to, Beata, where you're looking at like, okay, I could use this to see who or what I would like to interact with in the world, when and where. And I think that touch is such a great way to get us out of the mind. It's so immediate. We can't really logic touch. Touch is something that goes beyond logic. If we try to force touch, if we try to go up to the guy, girl, they, whatever, we go up to them because we decided, oh, that one, he'll fit into my little box of life, and we force the touch, it really doesn't work. Like it won't create what it will create if there actually is this desire in your body and in their body to meet in whatever way. It doesn't mean you have to go home and have sex. It's just a guide to, am I drawn? Is there a desire? And really, I would say that this thing of really being present and observing how people are with touch. You learn so much just by watching someone pet a cat, or eat their food or pick a flower, like all of that, how they move around in the world will give you a sense of how they be with touch. And is that something you would like to explore with them?
You said that touch very easily take us for our mind, but when I was listening to you right now, I just thought that all my senses that just wake up.
Yeah. Well, you mean when we talking, all your senses are waking up? Is that what you mean?
No, when we were talking, when you were talking, I about the touch, I perceived that all my senses just wake up and was listening.
Yeah. Well, but that's also because we sometimes we mix up the brain and the mind, right? So the mind is much more our thoughts, our feelings, our whatever we bought as real, whatever we bought as right or wrong, while our brain is connected to our senses. And our brain takes a lot of the information from our senses. I mean, we're a sensory organism. We have a lot of senses. I mean, we have 5 senses that we all know, and then we have something called the proprioception, which literally is like our knowing that uses all the senses, right? So when I'm starting to talk about, hey, what if you were very present with your sense touch? You're waking up that whole way of being with your body. And if you're listening right now, whoever's on or listening after, you can just start feel like you can touch your feet on the floor. Notice how you didn't even think about that your feet is actually touching the floor. You can like strike your desk or your computer with your hand. How does it feel like? Is the computer enjoying that? You know, when we were kids, my mom would continuously talk to the car. If the car didn't do what she wanted it to do, she would have long conversations with the car and she would pet it because that was her best way of getting it to like get to start it again or whatever. She was an interesting car driver, but it's such a, so you're basically waking those channels up in your body when we're talking about it, and it usually makes you feel more alive and more present.
It's beautiful.
And we would love to say also, invite everyone also that Katarina create so wonderful treasure, I can say, play dates with a touch. So we have a part of some dates with a touch. So can you say something more about it?
Yeah, actually, I created it a while ago, first just in English, but we've just translated it to Polish. So it's called 3 Playdates with Dutch, not with Dutch. It's called 3 Playdates with Touch. You can be Dutch, but it's called 3 Playdates with Touch. And it's just, you basically come in and you get to do 3 different practices playing with touch. And it's free. And we're going to put out the link in, I think tomorrow, there's going to be an email going out and you can find it in different places. So come and play, come and explore. I think we also even talk about how much information you get just by touching something in that. We talk about hugs. We talk about how you can use that sense of touch to find your way back to you, which is also, Camilla, what you were talking about, like how you were starting to become more present, how you're starting to feel more alive. So yeah, we're gonna release that tomorrow in Polish, and it exists in English already, actually, on my website. So if you're listening to this and you speak English, you can go to my website and find it in English. So yes, that's exciting. And I just wanted to, it's very hot here. I'm in South Africa, and I have a fan. And now I was like, oh, this is such a good thing to show, because if you look now even look how I'm being touched by the wind, and I'm being touched by my hair, and that even it creates in itself this energy of movement. And one of the things that create is like an energy of movement. I'm just have to put it down now, so I'm like not blowing away.
That was so beautiful with your hair like flowing. That was really nice. That was great. I know that we could talk about touch, and we could talk about this subject forever. I know you, Katarina, that you are an expert in that. And Katarina is coming actually to Warsaw, to Poland, 13 and 14 of April. And you are all invited. You have to have the prerequisite for this beautiful the Art of Touch class is bars. So everybody who has ever finished this class, they could join us. And yes, please, if you want to know more, we're going to put some links in the comments. So please explore. And yeah, Katarina.
No, I just want to say, it's funny, like I always think it's funny when somebody says I'm an expert. I am an explorer of touch because I'm so fascinated by all the different layers of it, and everything, like every layer I find brings something new, and then under that there's even something else. So come to Warsaw and explore, because all of the things we'll do in the class will be practical, so you can explore, not scary, practical, easy, simple, practical, like wind blowing on you. So come and explore, find out what touch is for you.
What I can say, I'm 100% sure that will be such a yummy exploration because even this 15 minutes is so yummy. So, 2 days with touch, with this exploration, you have to come.
Yes. And tomorrow on Valentine's Day, if you require a little bit extra, then sign up for one of those. Sign up for it's free, but come and explore the 3 play days with touch, because maybe that's exactly what you require on Valentine's Day. So go play. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Katarina.
Bye-bye. No, we don't know how we get it off.